The problem is no one knows which 6%. Because until they're really large, you don't really know the difference. And then clinicians have only two options. They can either send you home and do nothing and ask you to come back after 6 or 12 months for another imaging, more radiation. And if it has grown, then it's cancer. And sorry, sadly, it was already cancer the first time, except nobody treated you. And the problem is not just the size of the tumor that got bigger. That's less of an issue. The bigger problem is that it might have started spawning off tiny micrometastases elsewhere in the lung, in your lymph nodes, or elsewhere in your body. 50% of all lung cancer patients are recurring. The primary tumor is removed. Everybody hopes you're now safe and you're cured. A year or two later, the cancer comes back. Those were the micromets that now have grown. So timing is of the essence. You got to move fast. The only other option the clinicians have is a needle biopsy. They put a needle through your throat into your lung, and they try to fish some cells out and send them to pathology. That procedure costs $20,000 to $40,000 under full anesthesia in the US because the lung has to stop moving so you can move the needle around. It produces over 20% complications of collapsed or bleeding lungs, and people start coughing up blood. 1% die on the gurney from the procedure. But maybe the worst of all is that if you do have lung cancer, the needle is so hard to navigate, it might miss the tumor by a millimeter or two in 16 to 40% of all cases, depending on the location and the size of the tumor. You go home, people told you don't have lung cancer, but you do, and you don't get treated. So what's the alternative?